That time a private nation server had a nation wiped off the map in 2 days. True story. So at the time of this story being typed out marks about a year from this occurring. There was a private server for a bunch of people who enjoyed making nations and trying to rule countries in Minecraft. There were about 15 people online at any given point, and 100 people in total who were in this server. In the beginning, you were given a list of countries that existed, and you could make your own or join another if one denied you access to their nation. My own country was called Evatron, and we had 5 players, none of which were prone to fighting, but I, coming from faction servers, my knowledge of Redstone would help me to try to build a peaceful nation. Our mascots were 2 dogs I had tamed day 1, Cain and Abel. They were pretty much the most important things to me on that server. Everyone knew it, and most people knew my background was from factions. So the server moves on, and our nation grows and grows and grows into an automated nation that produced hundreds of enchanted books, crops, and more, slowly making our nation to the most advanced and put us in a position of the greatest peaceful nation on the server and a trade center, as everything in our walls were peaceful, lest they incurred my wrath. 3 months of the server running, a new group began to form. The Blackwater Demigods. They weren't a nation, but a band of criminals. Perfectly A-OK by the server standards, as they were just labeled as a warring nation. They became about 23 people strong, and had become notorious for their hostage situations. Threaten the lives of a nation's mascots, or steal away players. We had a custom plugin that allowed players to put leads on other players, if they had one too hard, to allow these situations, and wherever that lead was taken off, set your spawn point, and the server had a rule that you can escape, or have your nation rescue you. This got to their heads. Their leader and I had a bit of beef when he threatened to kill me, and one of my nation's allies came in and killed them, since I had my normal gear in my ender chest. This absolutely enraged them. They swore to me and my buddy that we would regret that. Now, I went offline for 3 days. School was doing finals, so I was focusing, and day 2 I got a message from my second-in-command over Discord. Cain and Abel were stolen. The demigod guys want war. To which I responded to him, I have a mission for you. Reward is 5 diamond blocks if done well. I need you to get 3 splash potions of speed, strength, instant health, true invis, and regen, and a shulker of 3 stacks redstone, 15 stacks TNT, and like 20 repeaters. Now let me tell you now, 15 stacks of TNT isn't that much for my nation. After all, our creeper farm produced 95% of all the server's gunpowder. Now, true invisibility was a custom potion. It had no particle effects, lasted 4 minutes, and made your name tag, gear, and your held item disappear. I had a shulker full of them in my ender chest for espionage missions, which I would use later, no doubt. By the time I got back on, I found out that they had killed Abel, and I would have to get moving quick. So I made my way to their only base of operations, and began rigging the underground to blow, while I had true invisibility on me, 100% of the time. In case one of them got on, all 15 stacks were under a base with smaller buildings that were in like a 20x30 block camp, during which I found Cain and sent a single message to their chief after leaving. Take your people and valuables and vacate, 100,000 blocks away, or you will lose everything. You have 3 hours. To which he responded, you and what army is going to do that? I sent him a single screenshot of me without armor, or hotbar, or anything in my hand. He just responded, LOL, sure thing, and logged in the next day while I was online and said, well, Storm, you want war? Come get it. In chat. Game chat. There was another guy on who knew me, and he just typed LOL in chat. I put on my full gear and began to head over, and he joined my call. Are you ready? I had said, as I found the area where I set the last block of TNT and set a lever. Ready for what? I flipped the lever as the TNT was primed, and in about 10 seconds the entire area was lit. Lag. The frames dropped to 0, and the server crashed as I had left the area. Meanwhile, I was just laughing in the call as he was freaking out saying, what did you do? I told him he had to wait to log on and see. Server came back and I logged in to see ahead of me. There was a stone terrain all ahead of me. He logged on moments after to a death screen as the world loaded in around him, and when he hit respawn, he was sent to spawn hub. When he used home, he was teleported into the pit, where I had pearled closer in my full armor and full health from half health and 2 golden apples, and essentially told hi.